The duck is the driving force for most of this. Go Devil is an outboard motor designed and built back in 1977.
Hey, these ducks get in your blood. Makes a man do some crazy things, don't it, Coco?
I'm telling you, all this is duck hunting.
You know, a lot of people have asked me over time why do I love duck hunting more than I love the others? And for me, it's like the dance. You're calling to try and see if they'll come dance with you.
We're a bunch of determined individuals and we push for wetland conservation. It is our passion.
Well done!
Right. To see them cut and dip and weave.
Let's go!
It was like the epitome of puddle hunting.
To watch the birds work is the real objective of the hunt.
Ducks Unlimited Television is presented by Drake Waterfowl Systems, innovators in waterfowl hunting.
Hello, and welcome to another episode of Ducks Unlimited TV. I'm Betsy Newble. In this episode, DUTV cameras capture co-host Fred Zink and longtime DU supporter and Go Devil Motors founder Warren Coco at his South Louisiana duck camp. They share a blind and enjoy some amazing hunting action while discussing the wetlands conservation challenges facing Louisiana and DU's role in preserving what remains and creating more habitat in the future. All next on DUTV.
Well, today we're in Hackberry, Louisiana. I met Coco about 2001, 2002.
Fred and I met several years ago.
Memphis, Tennessee at the Ducks Unlimited Outdoor Expo.
We kind of got the same love, same passion for waterfowl.
Became quick friends. I started running these boats right away. We were talking about different places we could go and different things we could see. And I thought one thing that would be really, really cool to stop at Baton Rouge and see Warren's facilities up there where he makes the engines and the boats. And get to hang out with the Coco family. They're diehard duck hunters, and there's not a man that's got a greater story in the duck hunting world than Warren Coco. That's why we're down here.
I've known Warren for almost 20 years now. He really hasn't changed since the first day that I met him. Number one, he loves his family, but he also loves duck hunting.
You were sneaking some snacks, is what you was doing?
Damn right.
And you got busted?
Warren, what is it? Yeah, right like that. Oh, Dad.
He's keeping his image up.
Yeah, that's right.
Entertainment director.
Yeah. He is definitely the entertainment director for Go Devil Manufacturing. Always has been.
When I grew up, the best Christmas present I ever got was a used bicycle. I was as happy as a kid getting a Corvette today. And I knew the only way I was gonna have anything, I was gonna have to work for it. I've been working since I was 12 years old. I just been born with mechanical abilities. Work on, repair, design. Tell everybody I was born with a little bit between my ears and knew how to work with my hands, and I was not lazy. The only way you're gonna get ahead is you gotta get up and go every day and accomplish something.
So Louisiana is one of the most important wintering areas for waterfowl in North America. The reason for that importance is, number one, the number of birds that migrate through. The other reason that's so important is because of threats to the habitat that we have here. So Louisiana has lost almost 2,000 square miles, which is over 1 million acres of our coastal marshes.
You know, everybody hears about the coast washing away, and that's what's actually happening. Tidal energy is too great. Water moves too fast. So what my project did, it slowed the flow down.
So one of the challenges we have in southwest Louisiana is saltwater intrusion. In some areas, it causes freshwater marshes to convert to open water. The technique that Ducks Unlimited uses in that situation is marsh terraces.
In the terrace levees, the way they work, you got a body of open water, and you got turbulence from the wind and wave action. It suspends your sediments. Get before a south wind for a cold front. Here comes a cold front, whoosh, there goes your mud.
Stirs it all up, goes right out into the Gulf.
And what it does, it helps to break up the open expanse of that open water area. So that marsh terrace, it helps to reduce shoreline erosion. It also reduces wave action in that open water area.
Water clears up so your aquatics can grow. And that's food for the ducks.
Yep.
You know,
Fish.
Food for the organisms.
Everything.
For the
Yep.
fish, and it's just part of the food chain.
Yeah.
And this enhances the whole property.
They're pretty. A lot of color to them.
When you reduce the wave action, that creates really good conditions for the submerged aquatic vegetation to grow. That aquatic vegetation is really the foundation for the food chain, which is really what the waterfowl are after.
Well, it starts with the water and the fertilization. It starts with microorganisms, and then everything else follows right along.
That's just the bottom of the food chain, it goes up.
Ducks Unlimited Television is presented by Drake Waterfowl Systems, innovators in waterfowl hunting. Mossy Oak Shadow Grass Habitat, the official camo of Ducks Unlimited. Browning Firearms, the best there is. Native Nurseries, hand-selected, hand-grown plants for wildlife. Higdon Outdoors, quality, customer service, innovation, that's Higdon. And Ducks Unlimited's 85th anniversary, celebrating 85 years as North America's leader in wetlands conservation.
Hey, these ducks get in your blood. Makes a man do some crazy things, don't it, Coco?
I'm telling you, all this for duck hunting. I've been saying for years, the only thing you can count on in duck hunting is change. It ain't never gonna stay the same.
Like a lot of good innovative products, starts with an idea. And the best ideas in the world are very, very simple. They solve a problem.
Go Devil is an outboard motor I designed and built back in 1977. Kind of revolutionized the duck hunting industry, started here in South Louisiana, and it's done spread all over the country.
Is this the original one?
This is the original building. We started in the backyard for 2 years, came here and built this 30 by 50 building.
You said you were welding in the backyard in the sun.
Right.
For how many years? 2 years?
2 years.
2 years.
When I was 22 years old, I quit a $5 hour job to work 3 years without a paycheck because I knew this would work. And when I started, I couldn't get my way with $100 bills tied on. People looked at me like I was crazy, like I had 3 heads. You know, I tell everybody, I've been building Go Devil for 45 years. I got to ride in a Go Devil for 45 more years, catch up with me miles I pushed the P-Rock before I started. Yeah, one place I hunted was 4.5 hours in and 4.5 hours out. The Go Devil changed that 4.5 hours to 20-minute rides.
Yeah. In Coco's situation, it was solving a problem to get to where you needed to get to shoot a limit of ducks. And as simple as that sound, that was the basis of Go Devil.
And what Go Devil did, it simplified everything. You take a regular aluminum John boat, put my engine on it, and go where you need to go. Very inexpensive, very low maintenance, and it opens the world up for everybody.
It's not only about what Coco's made at Go Devil Manufacturing, but it's about the legacy that he's left behind, is leaving behind for his family. His wife works there, Donna. His daughter, Dawn, works there. Obviously, Lance runs a boat shop.
I am boat shop foreman. I train everybody to build boats, run the facility, keep everything ordered. Also customer service after the fact, all hours, day and night, helping customers and figuring out problems.
What makes his story so special is just he's so deeply rooted into his family.
Come right in.
Getting.
I ain't lost my touch yet. That was like a quail shot.
It was. There's another one coming. Low right here, this night one. I thought he was gonna come in here and land, and that was gonna be your duck, buddy, but he didn't. Pull the landing gear up.
The duck is the driving force for most of this.
Every property that Coco's ever been associated with, he's always trying to make that habitat better, and he does it a lot with his own money. In this case, Ducks Unlimited was available to come in and help him with some of that, but we couldn't do it in the timeline that he was satisfied with. So he bought the equipment. He actually went out and built the levees, installed the water control structures, constructed the marsh terraces that are on the property today.
I did this all on weekends. I come here and get on that machine right after daylight and stay on until dark, bring my lunch with me.
So how many hours What's on that machine?
1584, and it's got 4100 on it now.
What's that machine?
It's about
$200. $500,000. So $500,000 worth of work. That's a serious duck hunter right there.
Everybody wants to say, well, you need to be spending all the money in the breeding ground. So no, you got to have good habitat here so those ducks are healthy so they can make that trip back. They don't need to go back skinny, they need to go back fat.
Louisiana is known as the sportsman's paradise for good reason. Visions of expansive swamps, coastal marshes, abundant fish, millions of waterfowl, and rich cultural history easily come to mind. The truth is, Louisiana coastal wetlands and the traditions they support are in a struggle for survival, one that Ducks Unlimited, state, and federal partners fight daily. One of DU's highest priority landscapes, Louisiana, has lost over 1.2 million acres of coastal wetlands since 1932, with nearly 150,000 acres of this occurring since 2000. This devastating land loss continues at a rate of roughly 20 acres disappearing every day, and models predict that by 2050, South Louisiana could lose land area equal to the size of Rhode Island. How can this loss be reversed? DU is using small-scale river diversions, also called artificial crevasses, in strategic locations for marsh restoration. Crevasses, which are cuts dredged through the banks of channels or river passes, restore the flow of sediment and fresh water into areas that have been disconnected from the Mississippi River. These crevasses are highly effective restoration techniques. To learn more and find out how you can help DU restore the Louisiana Gulf Coast, please visit ducks.org.
DU Insights is brought to you by Mossy Oak Properties. Find your favorite place at mossyoakproperties.com.
Coco always told me, hey Bubba, if you want to put your money in a magazine that works. He said, I've been tracking this for, well, 30 years. He always told me that that was one of your best values you've ever done. Yeah. Plus you can track it,
right.
You know?
Well, and DU for the money was by far the best. Advertising consistency is very, very important. Prime example, you know, I started advertising in DU back 82, 83, somewhere in that neighborhood.
I remember seeing these ads, you know, they used to be pretty small and then they were quarter page and a little bit bigger. As his company grew, they become much, much larger.
And back then my product wasn't known as well as it is now. Customer called one day, man, I was hunting this weekend, we were struggling, push pole across this, trying to get to the hole, we heard something.
Right by.
Seen the engine come by, I said, I heard a lawnmower coming.
Yeah.
I know what that is. I saw that in DU magazine. You go back, you pick up any DU book and open it up.
Right there it is. That's what it was. We found out that Coco was the longest active advertiser in Ducks Unlimited. So you look at a man from South Louisiana, builds boats. To say that, it's pretty extraordinary, and this shows a lot about Coco's, not only his passion to sell more boats, but also his passion to support Ducks Unlimited. Ducks Unlimited is just, you know, it's a great organization, you know, looking after the waterfowl. I mean, the core of my business is waterfowl hunters, and I'm as avid waterfowl hunter as anyone. You know, my investment in it, and you know, just something I want to support. Left-hand side.
Got him. Last shot.
That's a poke right there. I mean, a poke. Browning steel ain't bad, huh?
It's really important when you're practicing for duck hunting that you practice the kind of shots that you'll take in the field. And that, for duck hunters, that means incomers, it means targets floating in, crossers, overhead shots, all shots that you can't really simulate with a hand trap. One great place to practice, obviously, is a sporting clays course where we're standing today. You can also do a lot of this at home if you've got a place to shoot. There are machines on the market, electric machines that maybe cost $300 or $400. You can chip in with your friends and buy one, and a lot of them can be equipped with a long cord, 30-yard cord, or even a remote. It lets you throw targets from far away so that you can set up a target safely that comes in at you. You can set up a crosser, you can set up an overhead, and you can take duck hunting type shots at home rather than just shooting the same going away birds you throw with a hand trap. It is really important to practice the shots you'll take in the field. If you've got a place to set a trap like that up at your club, at your home, you can do it. It's a small investment that will pay off in a lot more birds.
Ducks Unlimited's Guns and Gear is brought to you by Tetra Hearing. Built for hunters by hunters. Calls, wings, or triggers, hear the hunt like never before. DUTV is powered by Browning Ammunition, the best there is. Biologic, scientifically proven wildlife products. Purina Pro Plan, nutrition that performs. Tetra Hearing, more than hearing protection, it's hearing perfection. Mossy Oak Properties, America's land specialist. Rolling Thunder Game Calls, the sound of a new generation. Closed captioning for Ducks Unlimited Television is brought to you by Mossy Oak Bottomland, the official timber pattern of Ducks Unlimited.
Well, Coco, when he's cooking, we call it cooking with Coco.
Preparing some ducks to smoke. We put these on the smoker and we'll cook them. We take them off, fillet off the breast with a knife, cut it in strips, and I'm gonna make a little dipping sauce with some orange marmalade and some horseradish. And it is really good.
How much marinade you put in there, Coco?
On a tail, I use half a syringe. A wood duck, about 3/4. Mallard, you'll put a full syringe in. By the time it gets all rubbed, it's gonna kind of soak in there and marinate a little bit.
So just break that meat down a little bit, that fat.
I put a teal in for an hour and 15 minutes at 300. Put a wood duck, widgeon sized duck, for about an hour and 30. And the mallards take about 2 hours. But this don't kill you nothing with it. I start out with over a pound of bacon, chop it up fine. I'm smothering this bacon down. I'm gonna cook all the fat out of it. Then I'm gonna take the bacon out. Then I'm gonna smother my onions and my bell peppers down to that till they're transparent. At that point, I'm gonna throw the bacon back in, add some seasoning, add some minced garlic, and I'm gonna add my sliced potatoes, put a little water in it. Turn them up, cover them at a low heat, just let them simmer. And when the potatoes are gonna be done, they're gonna be soft. Some 8 pieces of American cheese on top of it. Let that drip down in there. Between the bacon, the potatoes, the cheese, if that don't give you cardiac arrest, nothing with it. Serve a little bit of that. It's a wood duck right there. I don't know what the poor people's eat tonight, but we eat real good here at the Hackberry Blue Camp.
And I got the 2 blue wings, a wood duck, and a mallard. So he tells me there's a lot of difference between all 4 of them. Me personally, I thought they were all pretty dang good.
Yeah, I never seen anybody eat as many ducks as he can. He put in his request. He said, I want some smoked ducks. I said, all right. There was 1 left when we got done. Fred about ate them all. Amen. Amen.
That's a Mason Coco special right there. Hit it, I want to hear you.
Hot mama. Okay. Hot mama.
Hot mama? That's your hot mama call? Hey,
Oh my God, I love it.
The first time I met Mason, I realized that him and Warren, his dad, are inseparable. To see him out here in the marsh, hanging out with his dad, going to the duck blind.
I've been duck hunting since I was about 14 years old, and I really, really enjoyed it. I thought I enjoyed it. The first time Lance shot the first duck is when I found out what duck hunting was all about. When I took him, he was 6 years old when he shot his first duck.
He's always in a good mood. When he wakes up in the morning, he's talking. When he goes to bed, he's talking. But he's always talking about duck hunting. He's always got to have his duck calls around his neck, talking about his dog. Right there, right there, right there. Bring that. I was almost on Mason Duck. And it's just an intimate part of the Coco camp down here in Hackberry, for sure.
Mason is my permanent hunting and fishing partner. He ain't never had a bad day and he ain't never met a stranger, you know. And you notice that being here with him for the last couple of days, how he is. Everybody loves him. How about pancake and sausage? That's what we always eat on Saturday morning.
Next year.
Next year?
Yeah.
No, he's a great kid, and I said I love him to death, and I wouldn't trade him for 100 normal kids. He's just the way he is. He's just so fun to be around. And I love teasing him, which I think you've seen that all weekend.
What about this one? You caught a big one.
I got 6 pounds for me.
6 pound, 4 ounce.
Yeah.
It got mounted too, didn't it?
It's big.
There he is.
There's more ducks down here in these swamps, ain't they, Coco?
That's a Florida bass because he's got the stripes down him like that. Louisiana bass is just a pale color. He won't have that black stripe. We catch both here.
Last week, Coco, I was duck hunting with professional bass fisherman Kevin Van Dam. Yeah. Now I'm down in South Louisiana and I'm bass fishing with professional duck hunter Warren Coco. What's the deal on that?
Come down here in December and see them alligators swimming around and actually wearing a short sleeve t-shirt. Says all you need to say about hunting down here in Louisiana currently. Could change tomorrow, and hopefully it does. Yeah, that's one thing. Obviously the hunting's always been good when I came down here, but just enjoying the time with you guys, your family.
What a wonderful time down south with Warren Coco and his family. They truly love the sport of duck hunting and conserving wetland resources. Louisiana is a state in peril, losing thousands of coastal marsh acres to erosion every year. Ducks Unlimited's work there is an ongoing battle to save what's left and restore as much as we can of its vital Gulf Coast habitat. Please visit ducks.org to learn how you can help. See you next time on DUTV.
Fish on.
I think you set the hook on that one.
Yeah, I set the hook on that one.